What is it like to live life? Every day is a different experience. Every day brings new journeys. That is exactly how to describe this experience that Pendleton and Toastmasters has given me. Coming to IUPUI, I knew the university would have a lot to offer me, but what I did not know is that it would offer me the experience of a lifetime. During orientation, I learned of a program called Toastmasters that was offered if I participated in the School of Public and Environmental Affairs, otherwise known as SPEA, Summer Bridge Themed Learning Community Program. In the SPEA Summer Bridge program, we would begin classes 2 weeks earlier at the normal university starting time, while also getting mentored on how to succeed in college. Along with becoming more accustomed with college life, we would be given an opportunity like never before. SPEA Summer Bridge offered a program called Toastmasters, which gave us the opportunity to go to Pendleton Prison every Wednesday to take part in a class with some of the residents on the inside of the big brick walls. When I first heard of this experience getting offered to me, honestly I thought, finally, I can see the insides of those walls and I don't have to get arrested to do it. This experience in itself was very empowering, very personal, and very memorable. As each Wednesday passed, I became more and more excited to go back to Pendleton and learn about each of the men inside of those walls. I had heard stories like theirs on the news before, but this time it was different. I was hearing them from real, genuine, living, breathing people. And it was not just a story. It was their reality. I have watched these men sing songs about life, open up about their lives, and admit both their wrongdoings and good deeds in life. I have watched them grow as people, just as they have watched me grow as a speaker and student. The men inside of Pendleton have introduced me to a side of myself I did not know I had. These men are determined, with big dreams, and they wanted nothing more than to teach us how to better ourselves. I used to walk around every day thinking the criminals were on the inside, but because of this experience, my views have changed in ways not even words could begin to explain. In my J101 class, we talk about cops, courts, and corrections. This experience goes hand in hand with what we learn in class. Not only do we get a first-hand experience on the corrections part of the class, but topics we discuss in class are portrayed through the men at Pendleton Prison. This experience also crushes all implicit biases by having us leave our egos at the door and look at our Toastmaster peers as regular people. Implicit biases are unintentional, preconceived notions over another being or race. They are things that can potentially be the death to societal coexistence. Throughout my journey at Pendleton and my J101 class, I felt as if they went hand in hand. There was one week we learned about the court systems in class. In that very week in prison, a resident told us about his story about getting time taken off his sentence and potentially getting granted parole. It was crazy. I was getting a real-life example demonstrating how it actually worked. Now, do I know if these men are ready to go back into society? Absolutely not. All I can say is that from this experience, my initial view of a prison has definitely changed from bad to good. Not only do I have to learn about the ins and outs of the criminal justice system, but I have also potentially found my career through this Toastmasters experience. In my R110 class, also known as my speech communications class, we get nothing but benefits from this experience. The very purpose of going to Pendleton is to communicate with the guys on the inside and give presentations over topics that we originally present in our class. We not only get practice on public speaking, but we also get help and criticism from people that we originally would never get help from. Not only does that help me, but it is also helping the guys on the inside of the walls of Pendleton. While they are giving us constructive criticism, we are reciprocating that and giving them feedback as well. I had always been very outgoing growing up, but Toastmasters has expanded my ability to carry on conversations and communicate well with complete strangers. What the media has perceived as a prisoner is nothing like the men I have sat side by side with over these past few weeks. Those crazy, hateful murderers you see on television do exist, but they are nothing like the men I've grown to call my peers and fellow human beings. I would not go as far as to change everyone's opinion on prisoners because they are in there for a reason. I would say I would go as far as to advocate that these men are real, they are human, and they have a life outside of the crime they committed. In my V100 class, we focus mainly on ourselves, our futures, and our feelings about societal ways. Pendleton has been a huge influencer on my future career choice. I came into college thinking I wanted one career, but now I can honestly say I don't know. This journey has made my career choice very hard. I have realized that these men on the inside of the prison walls They are human, and they have lives. The more I went to Pendleton, the more and more I noticed what I would like to change. When you think about it, there are men who go into prison and come out more of a criminal than they were when they entered. That is a problem. That is a cry for reformation. This experience has helped me in an abundance of my classes, but it has also helped me in my growth as a college student and as a human being. As a freshman, I came in thinking I knew exactly what I wanted, but as life has it, not everything is ever how it seems. That is one thing that I have taken from Pendleton. There is no such thing as a bad person, just a person who makes bad decisions. I will keep this experience near and dear to my heart until the day comes that my life should end. Not only do I have memories to last a lifetime, but this journey has influenced my career path as well. I plan to talk about this experience to everyone who wants to listen. I plan to make people aware, to make them think, to challenge their biases. From the first day I heard of this experience, my excitement was unable to be contained, and my first impression held true through my journey. It was life-changing. I have grown from an uninformed college student to a volunteer at Pendleton Prison who has learned not only to have preconceived notion of anybody before I listen to their story, before I listen to what makes them who they are. While I know I will forever remember this experience, I know the men of Pendleton will too. Not only did they hear our stories, but they were shown that there were people in the outside world that looked at them as regular people. That is something called reciprocal learning. They helped us and we helped them. What more could you ask for? There was one man inside the walls of Pendleton that will forever leave an impact on my life. His name is Leon. Leon surprised me more and more as time in Toastmasters went on. The 4th week is when he really started opening up to us. He said, "You can fight monsters, but be sure you do not become one." He opened up to us about his 10 years spent in solitary confinement, his development as a person and resident of Pendleton Prison, and how he wishes he never made the mistakes that he did in his past. The 5th week is when Leon really decided to let it all out. This week was the week he told us why he was in the walls of Pendleton. This week is the week he admitted his wrongs. While telling us all of his wrongs, he spoke the inspirational words, "All the isms are supposed to make us insignificant, and that's a problem, and prison is a breeding ground for insignificance." All words from a prisoner, all words from someone who made a mistake. But when you think about it, haven't we all made mistakes? The difference between us and them is one thing. They were caught doing their bad thing, and we weren't. Leon told me how I will bump into the monsters of society, and about how I need to remain true to who I am. I plan to do just that.